I got fired from my job and then started an online business. And 74 days later, I hit $100,000. This is cash collected April 18th to July 1st. And I did this without any sort of paid advertising. I took no sales calls. I didn't even have, and I still don't have, a website. And I also have, a relatively small following. So about 5,000 on Instagram and 9,000 on YouTube when I started. And if you don't know who I am and you're seeing these play buttons back there, I'll get to that in a moment. Obviously, there's kind of a role that those play in all of this. But this is also my first ever business. This is my first time doing something like this. And so I just wanted to cover everything that I did to hit my first $100,000, the business model I decided to try out, and also the unfair advantage that I had, and the funnels I used, the sales process to land $2,000 packages without any sort of sales calls. I even landed a $10,000 package, and how I was able to get 700 plus people on my wait list without any advertising. Over 400 people applied that wanted to work with me. Just a lot of crazy stuff happened over these last 90 days. And, there was a lot of mistakes that I made too, because this is my first time doing this. And I'm not making this video to tell you how you should make money or, what you should do. I'm not a business expert. My background is in content creation. I'm a content creator. And so my goal really with this video is just to tell you guys what worked for me, everything that I did that also didn't work, a lot of the stuff that didn't work, and just to document this too, just for my journey so I can look back at this, because this is pretty crazy to me. This is the most money I've ever made, in a single month. $50,000 last month in a single month, cash collected, is the most I've ever made. And so I'm excited just to kind of document this for myself as well. And I think some of you guys might find it inspiring or hopefully helpful for growing your business as well. If you have an online business, I think this could be super helpful. Or if you're also a content creator like me, and you're an expert, even if you're not a content creator and you're just an expert of some kind, I think this could be super valuable. And one other thing too, why I think this is also important, is my parents, they're not entrepreneurs. They're actually pastors of a church. My whole family are pastors. My brother's a pastor. My sister, she went to Bible school and married a pastor. I'm like the only entrepreneur in the family. And I didn't necessarily have anyone super close to me doing this that I could look up to. I have a really good friend, Alejandro, that lives in town and has helped me a lot because, so shout out Alejandro. But I also live in a small town. I'm in southeastern Washington. I have ADHD. I have a beautiful family, but I have 2 kids under 2. So I'm a busy dad. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is when I look at, a lot of the things, that getting $100,000, I'm like, I feel like it's super crazy because I had all these things that I felt like maybe were stacked against me, right? I lost my job, I did all this stuff. And so this is just to encourage you. When I lost my job, within days, I had to return all of my equipment, all the cameras, all the stuff that I collected from the company. So computers, lights, none of it was mine because over the years, I was using my own stuff and then it would get outdated. My computer would break. They would send me my own computer to use, and it was all the company stuff. So literally sent everything back. And I didn't even have a computer when I started this business. Like my office, my desk, actually, I had to return the desktop. The legs were mine, but I didn't even have a desktop. And I was using my phone and I was using my wife's laptop. And so I had to borrow her laptop in order just to get the business kind of off the ground. So all that to say, if I can do it, then I really believe anyone can do this. And so I just wanted to encourage you. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Nolan Molt. I've been doing YouTube for 13 years. My own videos have gotten over 100 million views, not including shorts. That's just on long form videos that I personally have made. And I've been working with a ton of YouTubers over the past 6 or 7 years, coaching, editing, consulting, shooting, like literally, everything, helping. I've been in the YouTube space for a long time. I moved to Los Angeles, started working with some YouTubers over there. And then after that, I started working with Think Media, which is where probably a lot of you know me from, which is a YouTube channel. Started off as a content creator. and was talking about videography and editing, and then started talking about some of the stuff I was doing on YouTube and started talking about YouTube strategy, and then ended up kind of just moving up through that company, becoming the creative director, and then started my own channel. So then I started a faceless channel. It was in the NBA niche, and I wanted to I was doing my own, stuff on this channel as well, making a couple $1,000s a month, just passive income, really without posting a ton on this channel. And it was more like filmmaking, videography, all those videos I just privated, because now this channel is all about YouTube and entrepreneurship and all of that. But I was posting YouTube on my own channel, but I wanted to do something that didn't even have my face in it. So I started a basketball channel. The first couple videos ended up getting millions of views. That channel explodes. And I mean, one month I made $14,000 just in AdSense. And so I feel like I mastered how to do long form content on YouTube. Not master, I'm not a master of it, because I feel like I'm always learning and improving, but I feel like I really cracked the code on creating this viral content, which was very different than some of the educational content I was making at Think Media. And I kind of it was just fun for me. Honestly, it was a lot of fun for me, and learned a lot about YouTube for myself, was helping other people. And so I've been in the YouTube game for a long time. So when you see these plaques back here, that's because I helped Think Media. When I started, we were at 500,000 subscribers. Now it's at 3 million, and the podcast channel hit 100,000 subscribers while I was there. And so anyways, that's what that's about. And then the business, though, I want to talk about this business, and all of this, by the way, is going to come back into the picture, because without running ads, I was able to use content to blow up my business pretty quickly. Okay, this is editor Nolan here, and I wanted to add in one more important note, which is the unfair advantage that I had. Obviously, I did have a small following on YouTube and Instagram, but people have been watching me for years, right? At my previous job, people have been millions of people have viewed my videos and literally watching me for years. And so you might be watching this and maybe you're doubtful because you don't have a personal brand built up yet. But I just want to say that I've had people inside the Content Academy that started channels from scratch. I had Ro, who started his YouTube channel. His very first video, he just did what I told him to do, and he got his very first booked call through that first video. We have people who have very small channels and are getting way more views than they have subscribers. We have a ton of people who join, they have small channels, or they're just getting started and they're getting 1 out of 10s. They're getting a ton of views and they're building their personal brands. So I want you to know, as you watch this, it's possible. Even if you are just starting out, I'm helping people do this every single day. And if you are an entrepreneur wanting to build your personal brand, even if you're starting from scratch, it's not too late to start. And YouTube is promoting small channels. YouTube is giving these smaller channels views, and it's a perfect opportunity right now to jump onto YouTube and to start building your personal brand so that your business can grow. I don't think I'm the best business person in the world, but because I had a personal brand, I've had this unfair advantage that has made business and sales so easy. And I love that I get to help other entrepreneurs build their brand so that business can be easy for them and they can grow. And so if you're interested and you are an entrepreneur wanting to build your personal brand, grow your business, grow on YouTube, then check out the link in the description. I have more details on the Content Academy if you're interested in working with me on your YouTube channel. But I just wanted to say that because I don't want people watching this video thinking it's not possible for them, whereas it was for me. I've just seen so many people and I've helped so many people with small channels do it as well. So I just want to say that, but let's get right back into the video. Here's basically how I did it. And we'll start with getting fired, because I got let go, and it was actually the day after my son was born. So I'm on paternity leave. My son is born the next day. They let me go, and I return all my stuff. And I'm starting to think about, okay, what am I going to do? What business model am I going to choose? I knew at this time that I was not going to work for anybody else. I knew that I wanted to start my own business, and I really felt like God was calling me to start my own business. And so it was that nudge that I needed. And honestly, the reason this is even important to the story is because I think getting fired was one of those things that it lit a fire underneath me, and having kids, both of those combined, it's I had no other choice but to literally go and just start a business and make money and provide for my family. Like I had no other option. When you work in a job and you work for someone, it's, you might have a cushy job, you get paid pretty well. And if you want to start a business, it's like hard to because you're so comfortable. And so when you get put in a position like that, it actually is like a blessing in disguise. If you actually want to start a business, it's like the analogy of burning the ships. Like you can't go back. So for me, I was at that point, and I think that was pivotal to the drive and the hunger, obviously, that I had in starting this business to make something work because I had no other option. And so when I was starting to think about what business model to choose, I definitely wanted to do something that was related to my skill sets of content creation and YouTube. But I also wanted to do something where eventually it could give me the time freedom to spend time with my kids, to spend time with my family, to travel, to work from anywhere. I didn't want to like do something local in my area or have to be in a physical location to deliver something. And so I felt like I knew I wanted to teach people because I've been coaching for years, and I knew I wanted to help people with YouTube. I knew that I wanted to help people with their personal branding. What I decided was on a few different options. I was thinking about starting my faceless channel was an option, but I knew I didn't want to do the faceless channel thing full time. I had a couple people ask me, why don't you just do your faceless channel full time? It's because it's super volatile. So some months it's like $14,000, and then some months it's like $5,000 or even less. And it's really dependent on like going viral. And I wanted something more steady. So that was kind of out of the picture. And also like just creating my own personal brand, like the Nolan Molt channel, and like trying to monetize just this through like AdSense and affiliates and stuff like that would take time to build up. And so I didn't want to do that either. So I knew I wanted to go the educational route. I decided to go with coaching because from what I've learned, there was like, okay, I could do it for you, where I could like do a YouTube agency and create videos for people. And I considered it, but I'll maybe share why I didn't do that. Then it was done with you, where you could kind of just like coach people and you could have some course materials and all that. And then you could do something where it's do it yourself and I could just release a course. Now I didn't want to do the course because I knew that having something where I could actually hop on calls and help people, they'd get better results, or I could actually like be hands-on. I just knew I'd get better case studies a lot faster versus just throwing a course out there. A lot of people will buy a course, then they don't use it. And so, and then as far as the agency model of like actually doing YouTube for other people, I knew that would be super time consuming and have a ton of revolving parts. So the done with you style just made a lot of sense for me. And I really just binge watch one of my favorite creators, Dan Bolton. He does this done with you model. And I just remember watching all of his videos and being like, I'm going to do it in this similar way. Basically, it came down to building a business model called Content Academy. This is the logo. And it was done with you coaching, YouTube coaching for entrepreneurs or people wanting to build their personal brand. The idea is it was going to be coaching, group calls, some one-on-one coaching for a couple people, but mainly group coaching. And then there would be the community and the courses. And those were like the three kind of main things that I learned. I was like, I can do that. And so I decided to go with I knew I wanted to do like 12 weeks or 16 weeks. And then at the end of it, this is just the business model, right? Get people in, commit, because it takes time to grow on YouTube. So commit to like 3 months, 4 months. And then at the end of it, hopefully people get some wins they want to stay, and then I can resell them to stay, either monthly or 6 months or yearly, whatever I ended up deciding. I actually coming to the conclusion of I knew I wanted to help other people grow on YouTube. And then doing a bunch of research, I knew I wanted to do something a little higher ticket. I wanted to make it ideally, like I think this program, if we get people really good results, I think this could be a $5,000 program. There's people, I think in the future, it could be a $10,000 program. Like as we add more stuff, make it really, really valuable. I think this could be worth a ton of money for people because we're really helping them scale their businesses. And if they make money, why would, if they made $100,000, why would they not spend $10,000 was like kind of the idea is like, how can I help entrepreneurs make money with YouTube? And that was kind of like where it clicked for me. I was like, oh, wait a minute. YouTube can actually be super beneficial for entrepreneurs, for business owners. And I already knew this because at my job, I was creating content for an educational company, where courses were being sold, and I was advertising through organic content this business. And so I was like, I already was posting content for so many years, basically helping send more and more traffic into the education course side of the business. I was like, why don't I help other entrepreneurs do this with YouTube as well? That was kind of a key takeaway for me, was thinking like, oh, this can be very valuable, especially if it's for entrepreneurs, because there's a monetary number they can associate with getting more views on YouTube and getting more leads and traffic and all of that. That was a big takeaway for me. It might sound obvious to some of you, but that was a big takeaway for me, was making that connection. And the reason I wanted to work with entrepreneurs was for kind of 3 reasons. One, they could afford it. So I was like, okay, if I sell this for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 in the future, I'm like, entrepreneurs can afford that, right? It's a write-off. They're actually investing into their business to get more leads and to get more awareness and all this stuff. Number 2 is I love entrepreneurs. Like, I could talk to my friend Alejandro all day long. We'll talk business all day long. I love talking about entrepreneurship. I love business, and I love content. And like these worlds merged was like, I just loved it. And then thirdly is what I said. I had the experience because I worked for an entrepreneur and an education company. And so I was like, this just feels like a perfect fit, feels like true alignment for me. Once I knew all of that, I basically had to figure out, okay, how am I going to market this? And, the beta program is what I ended up doing at first. And, but I had to go, how am I actually going to sell this? And it was kind of scary. I'm not going to lie, because I wasn't sure if it would work. I wasn't sure, the pricing and all this stuff. And so it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I'm just going to get out there, because I had no other choice than just to try. So I had this feeling though, even though I was kind of like a little bit, I was like, I don't know if it's going to work. There was something inside of me that knew it was going to work. And I really think it was God. And it was holding on to that, like me feeling led that he was calling me into this entrepreneurship journey. I think holding on to that, I just got to say that because I think it's so important, because in a weird way, I didn't know if it'd work. But on the flip side, I had like extreme confidence that I'm like, it's going to work out. Even though I was still a little bit scared, I'm like, I know this is going to work out, even if it's in a different way than how I thought it would work. I know it's going to work out. And so it was very weird season, living in that, tension of both of those things. But I had confidence because I just truly felt like, all right, if this is God's plan, like, let's go for it. Also, just seeing other people, Dan Bolton, share how he's making a ton of money online doing this, I think that gave me some hope as well. And that's one of the reasons I'm even making this video, is to hopefully encourage you and be like, okay, this is possible. So after about 8 weeks, spending time with the family. And obviously during this time, I'm thinking through, how am I going to make this work? I'm drawing up stuff, thinking through like how I'm going to do this, but I'm also trying to spend time with the family. There's a newborn and we're trying to just spend time together. 8 weeks go by. It's time to launch this beta program, which is what I decided to go with first. And I think the nice part about doing a beta program, if you don't have something yet, was it gives the expectation for people to know that like, hey, this might not be 100% perfect and dialed in, but it will get better over time. And for that, I'm going to give you extra time. I'm going to give you extra effort, and it's going to be at a cheaper price than what I'm going to launch this in the future. And so people can get, excited about that. I wasn't exactly sure what to price it at, but I knew I wanted it to be a price where people would just be like, no brainer, 100%. I got to do this. That was, for the people that knew me, right? It was like, if they saw it, they'd be like, I got to do this. So I built this offer inside of Notion, a doc that I was just going to send to people and be like, here's the details. Let me know if you want in, just, DM me back, email me back, or whatever. I'll get into all that in a second. But I decided to make it 8 weeks. So instead of 12, we did 8. And I made it, I think for the first 10 people, it was like $1,250. And then for the next 10, it was $1,500. So I got 20 people, and I did take 4 clients one-on-one. And then I basically had a pay in full option and I had a pay weekly option. So if people were paying weekly, it would be obviously cheaper upfront, but it would be more. But if they just paid upfront for the 8 weeks, it was $1,250. They were going to save some money. And so 20 people in, I actually ended up filling the spots super, super quick. And I'll share how I did that, which was through making some content. So I started with some Instagram reels, and just kind of building up some hype. They were getting like 1,000 views or less. They were not getting a ton of views. When I launched, I started documenting my journey just through like day one of building a business and documenting it. And I think that was kind of important because people just saw me daily on the Instagram reels. And then I dropped a YouTube video, and I'll pull this up right here. I dropped this YouTube video called I Lost My Job. And so I'm starting a business. And within the first 7 days here, you can see it got 32,000 views. Now, the call to action on this, if we go to the details, I don't know if I changed it or not, but it was basically, now it's changed. In the beginning, it said if you're, an online entrepreneur, you want to grow on YouTube, it said DM me the word academy. And so people would DM me. And then basically what I'd do is on Instagram, I would try to qualify them and see if they were a good fit. And then from there, if they were a good fit, I'd send them this Notion doc and say, do you want in? And so I did that. And actually the same day that this launched, Alejandro did like a workshop with some of his entrepreneur group. And I just kind of shared some YouTube stuff in that workshop as well. And there I was able to pitch the same thing. I said, if you guys are interested, DM me, I'll send you the details. And so this is what I was doing. I literally just made some content, got a ton of views on YouTube because, this is kind of a juicy title, right? I lost my job, starting a business. People were kind of interested. And even though I only had 9,000 subscribers, I was getting pushed into the algorithm. And this was kind of my unfair advantage was I knew how YouTube works. I knew if I made this video, I'd get more views than my subscribers. So this brought in so much traffic. So I got so many DMs, so many comments of people wanting to work with me. And I was actually overwhelmed and I didn't even know that many people would reach out to me. And I ended up getting into a major issue, which was too many messages, and I didn't have the time to respond to everybody. I could not keep up with all the conversations. So I ended up pivoting to an application form. And I made some big mistakes here because I had so many messages that people reached out to, and I just never even got back to them because I think I had like 300 DMs or I don't know, something crazy like that, maybe even more. And of people DMing me saying, hey, I would love to join your new business. I couldn't qualify everyone because I wanted to make sure that the 20 people were actually going to be, a good fit for the program. I moved to the application form and just kind of posted it on my stories. Then this saved me a ton of time because once people actually, I think I sold like 10 people just through the DMs. And then I was like, I just need to do the application form. I kind of posted it on my Instagram stories, and I maybe got 150 applications, and I would go through those, find the best ones, message them, send them the doc, see if they were in. And then I filled up the 20 spots within 3 days or something like that. So in the first week of launching the business, made $37,000 selling this 8-week beta program. And that was cash collected, $37,000 cash collected. Part of that was also within the first week, I had an entrepreneur reach out who didn't want to join the Content Academy, but wanted more hands-on consulting. And that was a $10,000 a month client that I landed within the first week too, which made it $37,000. That was one of the one-on-one clients, which I did way more work for that person than the other people. So then I think it was twice as much for the one-on-one clients. So, I said 4 one-on-one clients. I just made it twice as much. It was like $2,500 for the 8 weeks. And for that, I would meet with those people once a week for 30 minutes. And that was what the one-on-ones were. It was twice as much, but 30 minutes, we get to hop on a call. I can break down your edits. I can break down your YouTube video ideas. We can brainstorm titles, thumbnails, look at your channel, all of that, 30 minutes every week. That's kind of like opening week, beta program, what goes down. Then over the next 5 or 6 weeks, basically I'm closing the doors, right? So during this 8-week program, I don't make any money, right? There's some payment plans coming in, but I'm not making any money because I wanted the beta program to kind of go through and make the product really, really good. I'm still posting like daily Instagram reels, but I end up kind of not wanting to do the Instagram reels anymore because it was just kind of tiring. And I was trying to focus on making the program as good as possible. And I was trying to focus on getting my clients really good results. So as these 8 weeks were starting to come, closer to an end, I realized I got to get ready for this next launch because we need to, promote it and, figure all this thing out. I bring on a friend, not a friend. I didn't even know him. His name is Vivek. He reached out within, maybe week 1 or something, like right at the very beginning. He's kind of helping me with some admin tasks. And so I'm like, Vivek, can you help me just figure out this email thing? And he's telling me, he's like, we got to get the email going. All these people who reached out, we need to send them emails every week and provide value and nurture them. I'm like, yeah, can you help me with that? That'd be great. And so we get an email going. Now the 3 things that we have going are YouTube, Instagram, and email. And even on YouTube, within those 8 weeks where I'm kind of just like really focused on building this program, I think I only posted one other video, which was this video. No, I posted 2 videos. So I posted this video here and it got 63,000 views, and it's still getting views today, but it's, I don't think, it did say, hey, you can apply here, but it wasn't like a crazy call to action to joining the Content Academy. It was just talking about, nurturing the audience, giving free value. I'm not posting a ton of content, which was a big mistake. And I'm not emailing all these people who are interested. So like 5 or 6 weeks go by and all these people basically don't have, they haven't heard from me. This isn't good, right? This is not good. And so this was a huge mistake that I made. And eventually, we get the email going. We send out a few emails. We're just trying to provide value. We're trying to, post more YouTube videos and Instagram videos and all this stuff. All that being said, we increase the price. We make it now 16 weeks and we do another launch. I'm talking about it on Instagram and I'm talking about it on a YouTube video. I'm sending out the emails to all the people who are on our, now it's like 800 people on the wait list. But before that, it was like maybe 350, 400. And we're emailing these people and it's like, we increased the price and made it 16 weeks and we hear crickets. We did not hear total crickets. We probably got 4 sales, but I'm like, this is not good. We should have gotten a lot more sales than this. When we only had those 4 people that signed up and we sent it out to hundreds of people, it was very discouraging for me. And I was like, we're screwed. My family's going to go hungry. I don't know what to do. Well, I had a conversation with my dad. I mentioned he's a pastor and he's like, how can I pray for your business or whatever? I was like, I need prayer for me, I'm like, is what I told him. I was like, I just need you to pray for me. Like I stressed out and anxious and all this stuff. And he goes, well, I want to pray for your business too. I'll pray for you. I want to pray for your business. He was like, what's a number? What number do you want to hit? And I was like, it'd be great to hit 20. And my wife, Madeline, is listening and she goes, no, because I told her, I said, Vivek wants us to hit 50. And I was like, 50's, would be a crazy number. And Madeline goes, no, the real number is 50, is they want to hit 50. And in my head, I'm like, that's not possible, but whatever. Sure. Yeah, go ahead, Dad. Pray for 50. So he actually reaches out the next day. This is as we're thinking about lowering the price and all this stuff. And he goes, I feel like I was supposed to pray for 47. I was like, okay, 47. I was like, cool. He goes, yeah, I just thought I'd tell you. But he goes, I prayed for your business. I'm just praying that you get 47 spots. I'm like, all right. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. And we made the mistake of just raising the price too high, too fast. We needed to slowly increase it over time. We basically sent another email going, we're sorry. We got a lot of feedback. The price is just not affordable for a lot of people in my audience. And so we lower the price and we reduce it to 12 weeks. So instead of 16 weeks, we reduce it to 12 weeks. We reduce the price and change it to 12 weeks. Now it was $2,000. We post another video, and this video I'll show you right here. This was kind of interesting. I just said, which this is just a cool idea for people too. If you have a YouTube channel, you could post a video and delete it, or I privated it, right? But I said, I'm deleting this video in 9 hours. Gets 9,000 views. I talk about the program. I talk about kind of life update. And this brings in a ton of new applications. So only 6,000 views. It probably brought in like 200 more applications of people saying, here's my information. Here's a bit about my business, a bit about me. And I'd like to, work with you. Obviously, they don't know the full price yet, all the details, but then I send them, if they're a good fit, I'd send them the details. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy, right? So in the first few days, it gets a ton of views. A ton of people are applying. One more important note that I forgot to put in here, which was something that we did completely different on the relaunch. So that we did not do during the beta program, which was we showcased a ton more testimonials and we used these on the Notion doc that I sent out. And we also promoted it on Instagram and in some videos, just showcasing testimonials, because that was the whole point of the beta program, was to get people good results. And we actually did that. And so actually showcasing a lot of these screenshots, but then actually video testimonials that I had some people send in. I just asked if they wanted to do it. They said yes, they sent them in, and using those on the offer doc, I think helped us get a lot more people in the program because it showed that it was possible. And if you actually want to watch some of those testimonials, click the link in the description and you can see some of those videos of people's experience. That was a big piece, I think, and something that, again, seems so obvious, but it was one of those things where we really knew we needed to get good results. And if we did that, it would make the buying process so much easier, because people want to know if it's going to work when they, spend a lot of money. They want to know if this is going to actually help them get views on YouTube. And so us literally showing all these different examples, I think, made the buying process a lot easier, and they just trusted the whole process a lot more. And so wanted to share that because I left that out in the video. But besides that, let me know if you guys also want to hear more updates on the business side of stuff. Maybe once a month I'll just do like business update like this. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you want that or not. Obviously, I'll be posting YouTube tips and advice on this channel, but maybe one of these every once in a while. Let me know what you guys think, and let's get back to the video. Over the next 2 weeks, as we promote this, what happens is we end up getting 46 paid people in total. And my brother, because then I was like, wait a minute, I told my brother I'd let him in for free. I was like, that would be 47. And so literally as the doors are closing, we're at 47 people, 46 paid. My brother, I just put in for free. I'm like, you can, have access, come in here, because he has his own podcast, YouTube channel and stuff. And I'm like, 47. My dad prayed for 47. So I told him, and that was really cool. And it also just reminded me, like, God has been faithful this whole time. And every time I'm like, hey, is this going to work? Like, are you going to provide? Like, he's always provided. That was just a really cool story that kind of blew my mind when it all happened. Because when he told me that at the time, I was like, there's no chance we're hitting 47 or 50 or whatever. And so that was kind of cool. On top of this YouTube video, we also do a webinar, a free webinar. This is my first time trying this out. And this was crazy. We had around 350 people sign up for this free webinar. I just posted on my community tab on Instagram. I get more than, I think I got 60%. So maybe 175 or something like that show up to this live webinar. It's free. And I'm just talking about how to grow on YouTube, how to do, YouTube in 2 hours a week, and kind of all these different things that people wanted to learn about. And that helped a ton, I think, too, get a ton of people to apply and actually join the Content Academy. So doing a free workshop webinar that's live is something I definitely want to do again. And it's something I am going to do again. And you can check the link in the description. We're going to be doing a free class for entrepreneurs, teaching entrepreneurs how to grow on YouTube and get views. So if you want to learn how to actually get views and traffic and turn those views into customers and into leads, I'm going to break it down in depth, how to do all that in that free class. Only if you're an entrepreneur looking to grow your business and you want to learn how to do this with YouTube, click the link in the description. But besides that, the free webinar worked like crazy good. And then what was cool is I ended up doing 2 free lead magnets. So we had a title masterclass, and in the title masterclass, it was literally just repurposed from one of the sessions that my friend Jake did. And I put it on my Stand store, and I got a ton of emails from that. So I'm building my email list with this free lead magnet. And then the webinar replay, I just create it as people can give their email. We'll send it to them. They're on the list. And so within the first 30 days of launching the email newsletter, we're at like 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. So with the lead magnets, with posting the YouTube videos, I'm not really doing Instagram as much. I'm focusing on YouTube because a big takeaway for me was that YouTube was where I was getting a ton more views, way more views than my short form stuff. And it was long form content. So people were spending way more time with me. And on top of that, like for example, this video I just posted, you can see it has 11,000 views, but people have spent 1.2 thousand hours in total. So the average person on this video is spending 6 minutes and 30 seconds with me, which is insane. And then here we can see that 13% of these 11,000 people made it to the very end of this 27-minute video with me. So I have people spending a ton of time with me. YouTube was just, and YouTube's also what I know. It's how I can get more views on YouTube versus short form. And a couple key takeaways from all of this. When we hit the 47 people in, we got like $50,000 cash collected with a new price and all of that. And that's how we ended up getting to $100,000 total cash collected in the company within 74 days, which was mind blowing. And a couple key takeaways is I'm going all in on YouTube to build this business. I don't mind, like, short form's fine, but it's not my main priority because I want people, like, if you're still watching this video, this isn't a crazy edited video. I'm literally just talking about my business. And if you've watched this, like, we've spent a ton of time together. Yeah, you might not pay me to help you grow your YouTube channel right now, and that's fine. I'm able to, like, long form content, you can help people more. And if you can get people wins and you can help people grow their businesses, grow on YouTube. I look at some guys that I've watched online that have helped me and I'm like, they've helped me so much. You know, like Dan Bolton, for example, I've paid to be in his community now because I watched his free content for so long and ended up building this business, kind of modeling a lot of the stuff that he was doing. And so now I'm paying to be in his community. And I'm like, that just makes sense. Give value, give a ton of value. And it's easier, I think, for me to do that in long form. And YouTube promotes your stuff to new viewers. Even looking at this video again, if I go to audience, like, I have new viewers, 1,000 new viewers a day coming in on this video to watch this video. People that have never heard of me are finding this YouTube. So YouTube is super powerful for so many reasons, but key takeaway is I'm going all in on YouTube. And then my short form will just be extracted from my YouTube videos. So I'm going to focus there, and then everything else is just going to flow from that. And I mean, you see all these other entrepreneurs starting YouTube channels, Dan Martell, obviously, you know, Alex Hormozy, Layla Hormozy. There's just like a ton of entrepreneurs that understand building a personal brand is super powerful. And they know YouTube is one of the best ways to do that. And so you see them all getting on YouTube. I want to make sure I'm giving value, but it's consistent. And I'm always dropping videos and value and newsletters and Instagram videos to stay on top of mind and continue just to help people for free with social media content. And I don't really have plans on using paid ads because I know if I build my YouTube channel and it just organically grows, it'll attract the right people, it'll bring in the right people, and I don't need to run ads. And so I'm not, maybe one day I will, but like, I really don't think I need to run ads right now. I'm just taking a lot of the money that I'm making in the business, I'm trying to reinvest back into the business to make things better. And then I'm just letting my organic content bring me in new leads. And then literally every single day, YouTube is bringing me in brand new leads. So people are finding my YouTube videos, then they're signing up for the wait list and filling out the application forms literally every single day. Every single day since starting this video, I have new leads being generated just from YouTube alone, which is awesome. I love that. So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to grow on YouTube and you want to build your personal brand and have a content strategy that will actually work to get you more views, get you new leads, and then convert those people into customers, click on the video. I'm going to break down my exact content strategy for entrepreneurs, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.